Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of the Highlight Reel. As you can see, I have a special guest today. We are here with Khari of BTB Records, man. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, brother? I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm great.
Yes, sir.
I've been looking forward to this.
Hey, man, me too,
For
brother.
a little minute.
Sure.
You just dropped the album, The World's a Stage. I know you on a high.
Yes.
I know you feeling really good about that.
100%.
And we are definitely going to get into that.
Yeah.
Because it's a great album. It's a great album.
Thank you. Thank you.
I heard it. I was like, oh yeah, I rock with this. I'm gonna try not to fanboy too hard. You know what I mean? Cause I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
But
man.
first off, I kind of want to get into some stuff that you've been doing recently, like outside of your album. So what are some things that you've been doing? Like, who was Khari?
Man, really, I've been just the school year just got let out. You know, I'm a teacher by day, rapper by night. That's why I be telling people.
Okay.
So I'm just entering that the summer break phase. You know what I mean? And that it's a relief, and it's also like this, new sense of like freedom too as well. So now I got like a lot more time on my hands to really dive in and promote the album and do a bunch of stuff like that. But really, man, I've been chilling, man, kicking it with my kids.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You just kicking it, man, for real, outside of like the music stuff, bro.
Okay.
I just been kicking it, man.
Kicking it with your kids. Okay, how many kids you got?
I got 2 now.
2.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm done.
You done?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
I'm weak.
Hey, I got a boy and a girl. I'm done. Look,
True. Yeah, you got one
cool.
of each. Wow. All right, man. So, cause Father's Day just recently passed. So, like, how was your Father's Day?
It was great, man. It was great, man. Kicked it with my pops.
Okay.
My kids kicked it with my, the grandparents and all that too. So it was a good time, man. I don't really like, those holidays are kind of weird to me because it's like, I feel like every day should be like celebrated as a parent. You know what I mean? But it's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool to get recognized. You know what I mean? So I appreciated that for sure.
Okay,
for
so you said that you got to chill with your parents.
Yeah.
As your children got to chill with you as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so like talk about that experience a little bit, especially as a younger parent. Like, how does it feel, man?
Man, it's amazing because my parents, they're younger parents is like for me because they had me really young. My mom had me when she was 17.
Okay.
And so it's cool that I got kids now because we all get to, I get to kick it with my parents and have a drink with them. And it's like, we all like, what I'm saying? We all just shooting the breeze, kicking it. And I got my kids and stuff. So it's dope, man. And the way they love on their grandkids is amazing, So I'm just blessed, man, that, a lot of people don't have like, a lot of their parents don't get to see their grandchildren, you know what I mean? Maybe whether their parents pass away before, they get to have kids. So, it's just, I'm in a blessed position, bro, where my parents can see that, man. So it's always fun, man. They spoil the hell out of them for sure.
I'm weak. Yeah, man, because like recently I was just, I had a Father's Day episode and everything, and I think it's just important to be able to kind of look at the dynamics of, parent to child and how that continues to evolve. Because I'm pretty sure for you, being a son and then having your own son, having your own daughter, then you get to see all that. It's like you get to see how your kids and then how your parents get to interact, but then your parents also get to see how their child interacts with their own children.
Right. Then for me, it's like I understand so much more what my parents used to say to me back then. I'm like, oh man, I get it. And they always tell us, right, like, wait till you have kids. And we get be like, man,
I hate to hear it.
I'm only trying to hear that. But it's so true, bro. Like, wait till you have kids and then you be like, oh yeah.
And
makes
you
sense.
Sure you done? All right. I mean, you got a long way.
At least I slip up somewhere in the goddamn.
Because I don't have none. Yeah. But I know that's something I think about all the time.
For sure.
Like just seeing how my relationship with my dad is changing, things like that, and then seeing how my relationship with like my mom, my uncles, it's like people are becoming. Like I've been saying, some of my uncles are becoming like brothers, basically, and then a lot of this, ironically, the stuff that my parents would say, you not resented, but like when they tell you wait till you get kids or wait until you get older, you understand then. Now you at that point, you thinking, dang, I wish I would have understood a little sooner so I didn't have to maybe go through that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
exactly, man. It's definitely a thing, bro. So I mean, I'm learning every day for real. As a parent, you just kind of wing it for real and figure it out. You know what I mean? But you lean on your parents for like, you know, that advice and that guidance. But you got to figure it out. That's what I've been doing. So.
Yes, sir. Yeah. All right. So those are your children, but then you also, like you said, are a teacher. Yeah. Which to me is like one of the coolest things. I don't know what it is. I love talking to teachers. Yeah. I mean, when you in school, you might get annoyed with teachers, but knowing how important teachers are to the development of the next generation, I always love talking to teachers. So talk about that experience a little bit.
Oh, bro, it's been the best, man. Like, mind you, I never thought I would be a teacher. I didn't, you know what I mean? I went to school just to get my business degree. And then I ended up going back. I got
Where'd you go to school?
I went to, so I played ball in Columbus State. Okay. And then I ended up transferring back home, played at Cincinnati Christian University. Okay. Ended up getting my business degree. But then I ended up going back to school to get my master's in education because, you know, I was working in the school. I was working with kids. And
I don't think you got your master's in education.
Yeah. I had to go back and get that done, man. And I never saw myself teaching.
Why?
Just I was not a great student, and like growing up, like I was, you know, I was an average student. I didn't never apply myself really. I was smart, but didn't study. You know, I just skated by. Even through college, like I skated by, you know, just to get my degree, you know. But I think once I started realizing that I had like this kind of innate ability to influence and kind of inspire kids, that's what made me like, okay, maybe this is something that I can do. And I really needed motivation from, you know, older people that were telling me like, yo, you need to go back and this is something that you can be good at. I didn't see it in myself. So, you know, going back to school and then finally getting a teaching position a couple years ago was just, it was crazy, man, because I started to see like I can have a direct impact by being in the classroom and actually, you know, especially me as a black male, like I had one black male teacher and that was like in college, you know what I mean? So me being in the early development phases of like children's lives, I work with 5th graders, 9, 10, 11-year-olds. So working with that age group and being a part of that development was like, okay, yeah, this is something that I can, you know, see myself doing. And as an artist, you know, we think that we got to be one-dimensional and like, oh, if you an artist, that's all you should do. You shouldn't do anything else. Like you should just focus on just making it, and becoming famous. Like no, it's bigger than being. It's bigger than being famous. It's bigger than being like, you know, a household name, what have you. It's about like who are you gonna impact. And for me, I want to impact the youth. Everybody got a different, you know, group of people, different demographic that they need to impact. And I think that's what makes the world a better place, so-called. Like who are you, what demographic are you going to impact the most? For me, it's the youth. And I think that's what I've been doing with my music and now you know, being in this teaching position as well.
Okay. And so you said you felt like you didn't really think that you could be a teacher, but you felt like once you started teaching, or someone before you started teaching have kind of said, I think you should try this. Like,
that's what it was layered, man. At first it came from, you know, because I was working in the school. I was just doing like some kind of like assistant teacher work in the school. That was kind of like my job doing while I was in college. And the principal said, you know, you see how these kids like gravitate to you and how they interact with you. She's like, you need to be a teacher. Like you should go back and think about teaching. And I was like, what? Yeah. I'm like, I don't even know how to divide. Like by, I can't even help them with their division. Like, bro, what you talking about? But okay. But yeah, it was just that kind of like that motivation that she gave me to, you know, go back and pursue it. So from there, after that, and once I actually got into the classroom, I was like, oh man, I can infuse hip hop, music, do all this cool stuff with it. This is dope. I don't even feel like I'm working. This not even feel like a job, bro. Like, so it's like, yo, this is it. This is it. And then you get summers off. Yeah. Winter breaks.
Good point. And say one more time, what high school you went to?
I went to Warren Hills. The Warren Hills High School.
Sir.
Come on.
We weren't there at the same time, but
come on, man.
It's family. It's family. Legacy, legends coming out of there.
Come on now.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, like I think one of the coolest things that I've learned about you is Cause once I knew you were an artist, but I think when I saw that you were a teacher, I said, whoa, whoa. And I saw that you were putting hip hop in the classroom.
Yeah,
Bro, that's, for me, like I was telling you earlier, I love talking to teachers because they are influencing the next generation, right? I love hip hop. So for you to mix the two,
come on,
because a lot of people try to downplay hip hop culture, and I'm thinking, bro, this is actually one of the most important cultures, I would say, in America, in the world, because this is something that a lot of Black people resonate with, and I think for you to kind of mix that, and it also, because that's something that will resonate with the students. Right? Then you as the teacher bringing it to them, they're like, hold up. What you know about this? And it kind of strengthens that relationship and that bond.
Bro.
So when I get to see those examples of how, the next generation sees themselves in their leaders and their teachers, it will actually, I think, like you were saying, help make a better place, make a better world for those for us, for them, just like as a whole collective.
Yeah, bro.
And I love seeing that intersection of
talk about it. I
love it, man.
Yeah, bro.
So also, what are some other things that you do outside of teaching, outside of being a father? What are some other things that kind of keep you upbeat?
I watch a lot of Star Wars.
Okay.
I'm a big Star Wars nerd.
Why?
I love it. So like growing up, bro, growing up, I was like 3 years old, and like my pops, he introduced me to Star Wars, and ever since then, I just been like, it's been something that I love, and I take a lot of my inspiration musically comes from like Star Wars, like watching those movies and just like the storytelling and the character development and me looking at my own familial bonds, because it's about family for real, but that's why I put like a lot of family, like personal things into my music, because I think that's a part of the reason why, because of my love for Star Wars and just actually watching it. But yeah, that whenever I'm feeling down or kind of like, I might just turn on one of them movies.
Okay.
That's what keep me.
You like Star Wars? Okay.
100%.
You into anime at all?
No, I am not actually. I wish I was though.
Man.
I really wish I was, because a lot of the homies, they be talking about it, and I be like, I wish I knew what y'all was talking about, because it seems so dope. But like, man, I used to watch Dragon Ball Z, of course, but like, come on, I'm hip.
Bro.
But like, all the other ones, like, I really wish I could get into it. I feel like it ain't too late, but like, I just know, like,
not too late.
I know a lot of the homies been at it for like, bro, since like, man, for a minute.
So I'm mainly asked because anime has some of the best themes around life, I think, around friendship, family, society. I think in a lot of anime, a lot of questions are asked. Like, yes, you might be seeing people fight, but why are they fighting? Who are they fighting for? What's actually going on underneath just them throwing hands? Facts. Throwing hands is what keeps you in it, right?
For sure.
But I think that there are so many things that can come from there that inspire you. Because I know when I watch it, I would say I'm a little more in tune with my emotions. Let's just put it like that. Yeah. So sometimes when I'm watching, this might be slightly embarrassing. Sometimes when I'm watching anime, I might not cry, but I'm like,
you be like, man, you get them goosebumps, you get them chills. Like,
it's like, bro, it shows you the importance of certain things, and friendship is always one of the biggest things I see, at least in the anime I watch. People going hard for their family, right? And I think that kind of resonates with me, because like, I'll put myself through some things just so I can make sure that my family is good, or to 100%. Make sure I can at least try and help my family, because I know you have to help yourself so you can help others, right? And that's like being a little selfish, but that's something that we all kind of need, because how are you gonna help everybody if you pouring from an empty cup?
Exactly.
So that's something that kind of just gets me up in my spirits and inspires me a lot.
Yeah, bro.
Because whenever I see people like raging out, like, Goku going Super Saiyan, right? That made me think about, okay, when I go to the gym, I need to go Super Saiyan,
you gotta
right?
go crazy.
Exactly.
You gotta go up.
So,
yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's how it is with Star Wars for me, man. Like, it's like I feel like we all gotta be, and I think, who said, I saw an interview about this, I think it was Tyler, the creator.
Okay.
But he was saying like how we all need to like be a nerd about something. He said, people be so
like what you like.
People be so trying to be so cool about things, and like, but those are the people that's like uninspired in life, like have no like desires, no goals. But the people that's like nerds about something, like I love hearing people nerd out about stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like just hearing you just talk about that was like, bruh, it makes me want to go watch it now too. Yeah. But it's like, we all got to nerd out about something. Tell me what you like really like, you know, what gets you going and what you excited about. That's what I feel like, you know, creates the best art in a sense, you know. So yeah, bro, be a nerd, man. Be a
and
nerd.
my last little note about Star Wars. So I like Star Wars too, but
it's always a but. It's always a but with niggas, man.
I think it was after. Oh gosh, I'm about to get. It was the one before Anakin turns into Darth Vader that came out in like the early 2000s.
So Attack of the Clones, episode 2, Attack of the Clones. You talking when he turned to Darth Vader? That was episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, I'm thinking. I think that's the one I'm thinking about. He was like Obi-Wan was about to basically kill him.
That was that was episode 3. That was episode 3.
So it's that one. Then you go back to the ones that came out in the 70s and 80s, right?
Those are,
and then you go.
That was before. So those ones that came out in the 2000s are prequels. So the original
always kills me.
Yeah, bro. The original trilogy happens basically in the future in a sense. The ones that came out in the 80s, the first one, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi.
The first one that came out was like the fourth one in the
Yes, it was called Episode 4. Because it was episode 4, 5, 6 came out in the 80s. 4 came out in 77, whatever. But when they came back with the prequels, that was 1, 2, and 3.
See, and I think
and then they just recently was 7, 8, 9, so they could.
And I didn't watch them.
Yeah,
I think that was why I was like, I gotta go from the early 2000s back in time to watch the ones that come after the ones that came first. Like, you know what I mean?
See, I love timeline stuff like that, though, bro. It's like, I think it's so dope. Like, you know what I mean? I love to see like a prequel happen after I done already seen what happened, you know, because people be like, well, you already know what happened in the story, but it's like, it's different. Like, I want to see like the nuances of the story. Like, how did it get to this point? You know what I mean? So, yeah, bro. Yeah.
You say you like sequencing.
Yeah, I love.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah, I love out of timeline stuff. I love like playing with time.
We
and stuff.
definitely are gonna get into that.
Okay,
so let's transition over into some more of the music.
Yeah.
So, obviously you are, a rapper, hip hop artist, but what are some other maybe genres or other kinds of artists that inspire you as an artist?
Oh man, well, film, of course. Everything I do, I look at it as a scene from a movie. Every song I write is a movie scene. Like with this album, it's a whole stage play. So I'm inspired by like a lot.
We're gonna break that down.
Yeah, bro. Let's break it down. I'm inspired by like a lot of film, a lot of stage plays, comics. What else inspires me outside of that? I would say like, as far outside of hip hop as well, like my favorite genre of music is 70s, like soul, R&B, like just jazz, like listening to those type of music. That type of music really gets me going. That's what I listen to a lot of that while making this album. Just those different, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Willie Hutch, like all those guys, like, So, that. What else? I'm trying to think. Conversation.
Okay.
Just general conversation.
Yeah.
And really truly what inspired this album was my kids, my students. Like just talking with them because they have such a fresh perspective that they don't even understand. Yeah. But it's so natural and it's so real and it's so authentic, and talking to them every day, being able to like, they'd say something, they'd drop a gem, they didn't even know they drop a gem. I'm like, yo, you just said it. And what I say like in class, what I be saying is like, they'd say something like that's real, like profound, and I'd be like, yo, that's a bar. So I got them all saying that and stuff. So everything is a bar to me, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you just said a bar, right? Like, so yeah, that's a lot of that. What inspires me, man. Like all of those is like a big mixing pot of like my creative energy.
Okay. Because I was recently talking to another artist and he was saying the same thing. June. He was like, when I talk to people, I get inspired, 100%. And I love seeing that because we could turn a conversation into a story.
Exactly.
And we can talk about the conversation, but we can also maybe ask a question within that story or whatever like our conversation was about. It could blossom into something completely different.
Exactly.
And then for your students, do you feel like your students kind of, you're not old at all, but you feel like your students kind of keep you young in that perspective?
Yeah. Keep me connected, man. And keep me connected to like that youthful energy. And, every day they wake up and they got energy and they ready to go. And so it's like, I got to be ready to go too.
Yeah. And
it rubs off on me, you know what I mean? And just being like a good naive in a sense, like I think that's what kids have. Like they got that aura of being like naive in a good way that keeps them open-minded. Like, as we grow up, we get so like different societal factors hinders us and we start second guessing ourselves, questioning ourselves. We start being fearful, but kids, like, they fearless, they curious, they're, enthusiastic, and that's what I took from them, and being able to take that from them and learn and apply it to myself has been like, I think did a lot for me for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so I want us to continue to dive a little deeper into some more of the music. So recently you did a freestyle.
Yeah.
Over, what was that again? What'd you freestyle over?
Bust the rhymes, put your hands where my eyes can see. But Coi Leray taking it and running with it. But but that's Busta, kids.
Yes, sir.
That's Bust the Rhymes.
Yes. Remember, respect. All right, so did the person that you was with, did they choose that, or you chose the beat?
Oh, I chose it. Yeah.
Okay, why?
I chose it. I don't know. I really don't know. I was just like, cause we was in here and we was just kicking, and I was like, what would be a good beat? And then I was like, let's do this, because I feel like
some pockets on that beat.
Oh yeah, man, yeah, for sure. I was just like, man, let's do this, because I feel like it's a popular beat right now, because Coi Leray is going on crazy over it. But I also wanted to like show like, yo, this is actually, this is history too, because Jay Dilla, you know what I mean, the GOAT,
man,
like the GOAT.
Let's not get started, man.
Yeah.
Jay Dilla. Oh my gosh.
My manager, who was in the video, producer, he wanted to produce the whole album, The World's a Stage. His favorite producer is Jay Dilla. One of his favorite producers, Jay Dilla. So I'm like, let's do a Jay Dilla beat. And that was just like, I was like, oh, that's perfect, because that's a recognizable beat, and Dilla did it. Let's do it. So that was kind of like the thought process. It wasn't too much like, thought out about it, because I just really wanted to rap.
All right. So who are some of your favorite rappers?
Man, listen, it's a lot.
I'm not gonna make you do no top 5 or nothing like that, but who would you say?
But,
okay. I want to know who some of your influences are.
So the GOAT to me of all time, Jay-Z.
Okay.
He's the GOAT to me.
I'm not mad at that.
That's the GOAT. Like, that's just,
I'm not mad at that.
Just the way he has a conversation. That's what I try to do. Like, you just sound like everything is a conversation with him. But Hov, Nas, 3 Stacks, Kendrick.
Okay.
4, and then 5. So 5 gets tricky.
As
5
always.
Always gets tricky. So I'm gonna give a 5A and a 5B.
Of course.
5A Cole.
Okay.
5B Wayne. So all those guys, you can hear all those guys in my sound, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because those all kind of like who I listen to and like take pieces from and kind of make my own thing, just like a mixing pot of those dudes. So yeah.
All right. So The World's a Stage.
Yeah.
I want to get into why you named this album The World's a Stage. Where did this come from? Like, where did this idea come from?
So yes, it's many meanings. Actually, it's multiple meanings to the album title, but it came from like a Shakespeare play. And he said, or the character said, all the world's a stage. All men and women are merely players. We have our exits, we have our entrances as we go through different stages of our lives. So when I saw that, when I read it, I was like, yo, that like spoke to me, because really what this album is really detailing the last 4 years of my life as an artist. It's a reflection, because I really started pursuing music 4 years ago. And on my pursuit of this dream of trying to make it, I feel like I've been playing so many different roles. And you play, you act. We all actors, we go out in the world and we put on a face for people. As Black people, we do. Me as a father, I do. As a son, as a brother, a friend. So many different roles I play. So how does my life as an artist affect all those things? How does it affect my life as a father? How does it affect my life as a friend, a brother? All those different things. And then I've literally been performing. Since in 4 years, I've performed probably over 200 shows. You know what I mean? Literally. And then from a figurative standpoint, I've been performing for people around me, like, oh, shaking hands with people, trying to put on a face for such a person that may be of importance, so-called importance, to take my career to the next level, or acting like I care about you know, about what this person is doing, or me acting like I care about, you know, being about my peers around me, and like the music scene in Cincinnati as a whole, me acting like I really care. You know what I mean? You have to show that you, and so it's like so many different roles that we play, and that's what the whole meaning is. But then also it turns on its head as like a positive thing too. Like the world is your stage, you know what I mean? Like so you create your own stage. You know what I mean? Don't let no one create your own stage for you. Don't let no one define success for you. The world is your stage, and the stage is in your head at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's in your head. So create your own stage. Don't let, you know, as artists, we perform for free. We pay to perform. Some like coming up, I was playing to play. I was paying, spending my bread. And then it started to transition to me actually getting paid to perform. So now I'm seeing like, okay, this is my job now. Like I'm actually getting paid for shows. I'm getting paid for features. I'm doing this. So it was a transition for me in the middle of my career. And now it's like, all that doesn't even matter. Like this so-called dream doesn't matter to make it. It's about who you impacting and the stages that you setting up for the next generation. And that's what it all came like. So yeah, it's a layered meaning, bro. It's so many things. In there.
Okay.
So much.
Might be time to open this up.
Yeah, right. yeah. Let's crack it open.
All right. Cause there was a lot to dissect in this. And you know, I'm not the greatest music critic or nothing like that, but I was like, nah, I want to show you. I really listened to this album. I really listened to it, and I really
that's love, man.
Broke it down.
I love this, man.
Yeah.
I love this.
All right, so it's called The World is Stage, and then you have 4. So it's 17. How many songs are on this? 17.
Yeah.
17 songs. So you have 4 acts, and then so it's basically 4 songs per act. So the first act, The World is Greedy. Act 2, The World is a Facade.
Yep.
Act 3, The World is Egotistical. And then Act 4, The World is a Dream.
Correct.
So first up, let's break down.
Yeah.
The World is Greedy. Why did you start with that?
So with that, I feel like greed is a big part of my journey. It was a big part of my journey as an artist these last 4 years. And I noticed myself like I want it all. I need it all. I need the money. I need the clout. I need all this. I need everything. And so with that act, all those songs are dealing with, you know, greed. You got songs like Check, the greed for money.
So that's the one where the one where I was gonna say I was hearing the Kendrick Lamar influence. I was like, okay, the different tones in your voice, the different flows. I was like, that was making me think of that. So continue. Yeah.
So yeah, that song is dealing with like, you know, greed for money. And then you got a record like Fuck the World, where it's like, I want the whole world. I want everything in the world. I want the fame. I want all that.
Yeah.
And then a record like Smoke Screen, kind of that same. I want all the smoke. Like anybody want to test me in this rap stuff? Like I want all the smoke. I'm the best. All that type stuff. And then you got a song like Father's Day that closes out that act. Is me coming to terms with how does my greed, my want for all this success, how does it affect me as a father? Me being on the road constantly and missing vital time with my kids, you know, and dealing with that guilt of pursuing this so-called dream, like I said. So that song kind of encapsulates the first act of greed, and you know, me coming to terms with greed and me being vulnerable and addressing, you know, how my greed can affect me as a father, you know. So
okay, because some of the notes I took was like on Smoke Screen. I like that song because it the sound is very eclectic. I was like, it's not what you typically hear.
Yeah,
so I love that, and I wanted to note that it makes me think of something that Outkast would be on, and then it also makes me think of Japan.
That's crazy.
And then I wrote some of the lyrics down. So you said running around the world on stage, give me plaques, give me racks, give me fame. Yeah. Then my destinies as a child hop out. Everybody say my name, say my name.
Come on, man. Come on.
Like,
yeah.
I like the wordplay in this, but I was taking notes because I was really trying to see why you said the world is greedy. So there, it's like everybody say my name, like I want all the attention.
I want it all. Yeah, that's all I want. I need it all. That's exactly what it is, bro.
But then I liked how you broke down with Father's Day because I was slightly confused. I was thinking, okay, Father's Day doesn't sound as much of a greedy song.
Yeah.
But you do say in one point, I do this for y'all, but I do this for me. And
very intentional right there.
I like that because I know I've said something like that before. It's like, am I doing this for you or am I doing this for me? Because if I do it for you, I probably won't be fulfilled. If I do this for me, no matter what you say, I'm gonna be happy with it.
Exactly.
So that's why I also do like how it's kind of the closing of the word is greedy, because again, you also say, through all of the darkness, I'm always your light. I'm with you forever. I got you for life. When I'm not there, continue to fight. Play all my songs if you need my advice.
For sure.
Where was your mind at on that song? Because it's like you're talking about not being here. So is that, what was your mindset when you were talking about that there?
Yeah, when I was making that record, man, I was just in like this vulnerable state, man. And like this, it was the last song that made the project actually. And I actually wrote that last verse, like, I'm trying to get my daughter to like go to sleep. So I'm writing this verse and like penning it as I'm like trying to get her to go to sleep. And, you know, that whole, just
Father
me like,
duties, man.
like for real. And like me, and like, I really was just thinking about how, you know, how I was just in Spain, gone for weeks, you know, missing vital time.
Congrats. Congrats. That's big. That's huge.
Thank you. And, but you know, as artists, I know for me, I kind of internalize everything, and I kind of like deal with that guilt internally. And like the only way I can get it out is by like writing about it. And so that's what that whole thing was, man. I was just in a mindset, like just a vulnerable mind state, man, for real. Just wanted to get it out. And, you know, like I said in that verse, it was like, you know, I say I do this for y'all, but I do this for me.
Yeah.
I'm selfish. I'm greedy. Y'all dog. I'm a beast. You know what I mean? Like, so it's all coming. But it's like also like, it's also because the first verse is me talking about my relationship with my father and how like growing up, he was so like hard on me. And like, that's what made me who I am today. You know what I mean? That discipline and that like, just that ambition. And how does that, like, that's great stuff that it was instilled in me, but how does that affect me as an adult? Like, that's all, I'm trained to just like, go get it. Get it. You know what I mean? So it's me coming to terms with that as, you know, as a son, but then also as a father now in that second verse. So, yeah.
Wow. Cause like how you said you like film and, you know, sequencing. That's why I was like, we're going to get into that because I like the sequencing of this, cause I was trying to figure something out, which we're going to get to. So, all right. Act 2, the world is a facade. So it starts with role player. It might be my favorite song. I'm not sure.
That's dope. I love to hear that. I love to hear that, bro.
Sure.
I love to hear that.
Rebel?
Yeah, my cousin. That's my wonder twin. Shout out Rebel.
Bro.
She crazy, isn't she?
She was playing a character.
Hey.
I was like,
it's a play. I told her to play that character.
I love when women rap, first off. I just love when women rap. I'm not a woman, so like I gotta hear their perspective. 100%. And she really sounded like a character because at first okay, was she two different characters in this song? Am I tripping? Like in the second verse, it's like it's her, and then the last part is y'all going back and forth.
Man,
she sounded a little different. Yeah. So I'm thinking, am I tripping?
No, you're not, bro. Okay. Like, so this is something like we actually had conversations about in the studio because like we both in our first verses, we both talking about like us how we play different roles. You know what I mean? In relationships and different romantic relationships, and then the third verse is like basically us giving each other advice. It's like giving each other like family, cousin advice because we cousins. Yeah, so it's like giving us like, we both came from like, we both talked about our respective situations. And then the third verse is like, you know, all right, how do we think about this really, like truly, like, you know what I mean? So yes, it's two different characters that we played in that song for sure.
Okay, because bro, you were saying some stuff in this. You said I went and found God for a chick. I was like, that's kind of big. I feel like I can kind of relate to that because you probably, the world's a facade, role player. So you faking, doing what you got to do to get whatever it is you want.
Exactly.
So speak to that a little bit, and I'm gonna go check something real quick. But speak to that a little bit because I feel like I can relate to that.
Yeah, for sure. So bro, with that, it's so funny, man, because when I was writing, I was laughing, but I was so serious. But it's like, you know, as you go through different relationships with different women, and you feel like you have to be a certain way. You know what I mean?
Acting.
You have to act a certain way. You have to play a certain role in order to make that person happy, in order to make that person like feel fulfilled, even if it's not fulfilling you. And so for me with that, like, you know, that's a true story. Like, I feel like you know, I'm not the most religious dude.
Yeah.
You know, I believe in God and all that, but this woman was like really like super religious, like, you know, to the core. And I felt like I had to be like that too. Just in order, if I'm with her, I have to be that way as well, you know, and not, and didn't stand on my own in a sense. So it's situations like that, but then it's also situations where it's like, it was situations I had with women that I didn't care about them at all, but I act like I did. You know what I mean? I just wanted, you know, what I wanted from them.
Yeah.
And that's why I said a line like, you know, so many times I hit and dip, grabbed the wheel, and I was gone without a hitch. You know what I mean? So I would leave, like I would, you know, oh yeah, I like you, da-da-da-da. When I got what I wanted, I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even acted smart. Acted like I wasn't super intelligent and knew it, even acted tough, you know what I mean? Just to, you know, so as many different roles we all play in relationships and in pursuit of a significant other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what it's real toxic at times.
Yeah.
But that it's just real though, you know what I mean? It's real, man. It's
I
real.
definitely felt like that was real because I mean, it's like, it's hard, you know, people say be real, be authentic, be yourself, but when you want to be with someone or something like that and you know that there's a thing that they want, you want to be that to attain that relationship.
Yeah, bro.
But sometimes it's hard having to face the fact that just might not be you. So
might not just be you.
I can't, like, I want that, but that's not me.
Yeah.
So we can't have that.
Yeah, bro.
So that's why I thought it was interesting that this is the very first part on the word as a facade as far as the act.
And it's
like,
so funny too with this song, bro, because it's such a contradiction too, and I love contradiction.
Okay.
Because like the previous song from the last act was Father's Day, you know, talking about my kids.
Yeah.
And then I get to this song, I'm like, fuck them kids. So it's like I just thought,
like that's what I was saying.
I think it's funny, bro. Like, I just think it's hilarious that, you know what I mean? It's just like that contradiction. It's that fakeness though, you know what I mean? Like, we fake it till we make it, bro. We fake it till we make it.
Cause like she said that in her verse.
She said, so when I said it in my verse, and then she said it too. Like,
yeah.
So
when I heard, I was like, am I tripping? Like, hold up, what's going on here?
Yeah, bro.
Yo, that is wild.
It's hilarious.
Then you had the script with Swooty.
Yeah, my dog.
Yeah, he got bangers.
Crazy.
So I like that because with a script, you know, acting, actors, facade, playing a character that are not.
Right.
So I did love that one as well.
Yeah,
it's a smooth song.
Man, that vibe is crazy. Like, it's a banger, smooth banger.
I was going through some of your posts too, as far as the nicknames that you have for the different. That was hard because you had him as was it?
He was Scorsese Macintosh.
Yes. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was feeling that. I like that.
Thank you,
and then so in slow/intermission. One of the notes I took was everything comes with a price, so what's your budget?
Come on.
I really like that because I think that's a kind of like a deep question of life. It's like, all right, you want to be famous, all right? So what comes with that? Can you take that? Can you handle that?
Exactly.
All right, you want to, like for me, I want to gain weight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to do that. What do you need to do? What do you have to sacrifice to get it?
Exactly.
You want to be a father. Okay, what comes with that? So I think that was actually one of the more important questions asked throughout the entire thing. At least that resonated with me.
That's dope.
Because I'm thinking everything does come with a price. So what do you have to allow you to handle this thing that you're asking for?
Exactly, bro.
Then don't fight the feeling. I like this because it makes me think of Mac Miller.
Ooh, really?
Mac Miller and Kendrick Lamar, they got a song called You Fight the Feeling.
Oh yeah, I know that record you're talking about. Yeah.
So I like that, but I like that. I feel like the instrumentation of it, it would sound. I haven't heard it live, but I'm thinking live that song will probably transition seamlessly.
Oh my God.
Live.
Yeah, we working on it.
Then just letting the inspiration comes when it comes, and I feel like it sounds like it was recorded almost live. It's like that's kind of how it sounds like. You had a band in there playing with you, and I like that song. I like that song a lot.
Right there.
Then, okay, so you have these different acts.
Yeah.
Would you say there was a climax, and where was it, if so?
So the climax, yes, the climax comes in Act 3.
Thank you.
You know
Okay.
it. He know his
Okay,
stuff.
so I'm here.
He know his stuff
because
sure.
I was listening to it. Like I said, it's like it was a smooth and like slower build up, and then I think Act 3 you started just like you was rapping.
Oh yeah, we about to rap because it's like so like
Everything.
That act is dealing with the ego, so it's like that first record, Elbow Room, like get out my way. You know what I mean? I'm super like in my ego. I'm better than all y'all.
Yeah.
Rapping wise, whatever. So Apathy, you got songs like Apathy, songs like Next. Where it's like
That's one of my favorite songs.
you know what I mean, bro.
I ain't gonna lie.
We could talk about it like, you know what I mean? But like that's where kind of like it hits like this peak because it's like, all right, I'm in this egotistical mindset, but then when we hit Mug, that's when it kind of like
flips on his head.
Yeah, it turns. It's like, all right, now let's actually deal with the ego. And I kind of told this story, but the story is like, I told a story from about a woman, a man, but then it's really about me and my ego. And so it closes out that act and it leads into like, all right, we want this. The ego is the dream. Like, all right, we so egotistical about this dream that we want. And that's how it leads into kind of like, kind of like the resolution of Act 4 and all that. And as we go into that part.
And I liked Mug because I think songs around ego, maybe it's just like where I am in life right now, but songs around ego kind of really resonate because I feel like that's one of the hardest things you're gonna deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, to have an ego it's just hard dealing with because to think maybe lesser of yourself for a higher power or for your relationship, it's hard to do that because you care about yourself and you want to take care of yourself. But when you let the ego, kind of dissipate and fade away, it allows more room for other things. But you have to let your ego go, and
you gotta let it go. You gotta keep it in check.
Man.
You gotta keep it in check. The ego keeps you going, but you gotta keep it in check. You know what I mean? And keep it within reason. You know what I mean?
I think this song kind of hit a little. Maybe this one song that hit a little harder for me than I wanted it to.
Yeah, bro. But it hit hard for me too, bro. Right, man. Like it's like must be tough being tough all the time. That mean Mug like a mask that your ego designed. So it's like
snatch off your mask, let it breathe. Snatch off that ego, let it be.
Yeah,
it was just that's really one of the reasons why I like it because I feel it. I truly feel that, and I think a lot of people would because a lot of people probably deal with having ego. We're in the world of social media. Everybody wants to look good. No one wants to look worse than someone else. We all care about what other what other people think about us.
Yeah, because the world's a stage.
Increase or decrease your ego. Exactly, the world's a stage.
Performing.
So okay, I'm glad I was right about this being the climax. 100%. Because I was listening to it, I'm thinking, hold up. A lot of music right now is like loud, like bro. Apathy, you was rapping. Elbow Room, you was rapping.
Yeah.
I think I put Next on my gym playlist.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah.
Y'all were rapping. And again, I love hearing women rap. So like hearing Siri go crazy.
Snapped.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, snapped.
And then Act 4, we have The World is a Dream.
Yeah.
So one of the things I wrote, one of the quotes I took from one long song, music never fades, it always keeps me strong. So when I'm finally gone, don't put me in the grave, just put me in a song, I'll live on. Again, I feel like this is like you thinking about a world where you're not here. So why did you kind of touch on that again?
Man, it was like I was really thinking about how life is a long period, a long piece of music. And as we go through life, different things happen. But even though life can be long, it can be short as well. But it ends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All good songs come to an end.
Yeah.
It's not one song that is forever. You know what I mean? So it all comes to an end. And so that's basically what I was really trying to touch on. But also thinking about like life and death. I had a line in there about my grandfather. He passed away, and kind of like his spirit, like being over throughout this whole album for me is like big because I touch on it a few times during the album, and me coming to terms with my own demise. You know what I mean? Like what am I leaving when I leave? How? And basically I want to leave like a legacy of music. But my music is like the one that is something that's of significance enough for it to be a legacy. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like dealing with life and death, and comparing it to like a song, music.
Hey. Then we have Raisin in the Sun. So this is about dreams.
Of course.
Right? Okay. You asked what happens to a dream deferred, and I wrote thoughts about quitting. So is this kind of where you were maybe fighting against that?
Yeah.
Because I think we are probably around that point of life. Like you have dreams when you're younger. You have dreams your whole life, but it almost seems like if you don't hit them by a certain age, then the dream is then deferred.
Exactly, bro. Yeah. Exactly. And that's exactly what it is, man. Like the famous, that's that famous Langston Hughes line, like what happens to a dream deferred? It's like a raisin in the sun, you know what I mean? And it's like dealing with that as you pursue this, especially like for me, pursuing this the last 4 years, like, man, like when is it gonna happen? But it's like till you come to terms with like, no, it's happening now. You know what I mean? It's nothing to chase. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like your dream is nothing to chase. And like, and I love the fact that I had Monty C. Benjamin on there because he told a story. Like he's older than me and he's been in this way longer than me and he's still going. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that, right, having that, you know what I mean? So me dealing with that and seeing a guy like that that's still going shows me like it's nothing to chase. You just do it. And he told his story about him pursuing different things, him going down to Texas and doing a bunch of things, meeting Kendrick, meeting Mac Miller, meeting Freddie Gibbs. And you get so close to doing certain things and it's like, what's next? You know what I mean? But that whole song is just like me coming to terms with the dream and like, yo, like it's nothing that I want to chase anymore. I don't care about chasing this dream no more. I just want to be like, you know what I mean?
And I feel like I can resonate with that because again, even like having this podcast, right?
Yeah.
This is probably something that a lot of people are like, I need to do this to get this or whatever. I'm just doing it. Now I'm doing it, right?
Just do it.
And then I get to talk to people that I have interest in or people that are of interest and I get to ask questions, get to be me, just talk, you know what I mean? So
100%.
It's like, I'm not sure in a way I'm chasing it, but it, like you said, it's happening. Like I'm doing it now. So you can see it, it's proof in it. It's like, I'm here with it.
Just do it every day. Do it every day, bro.
Yeah, that song stuck with me because I think that's something that's hard for a lot of people to deal with. You have dreams and a lot of people get scared to even try to go for them.
Yeah. You
got to at least give yourself a chance.
You got to give yourself a chance.
If you don't, then the dream will therefore be deferred. And how will you feel about that? I don't want to live in regret.
Exactly.
Like at least try, go for it.
Exactly.
Freedom Writers / finale. Whew. I think you tried to get some tears out of me on this one.
Man.
I was like I think when I heard this song, I don't want to get all sappy or nothing, but I think when I heard this song, it made me think like, man, I'm proud of you. Like this.
Damn, bro. Thank you.
Cause again, I feel like it brings a lot of things full circle. It brings you as an artist. And then I know you had a choir in this song, but I know I've seen you recently have some of your students be the choir. Yeah. So it made me think of that. And it's like bringing all of these things together. And bro, what I write? So you were helping your family break free of some of the things that they've been going through by writing your raps.
Yeah.
And then you helped a student that was struggling with reading by helping her write raps. I think that kind of all shows who you are. It's like you love rapping, you love hip hop, but how you can also still use this in like an everyday kind of thing to help people with real problems. Like if someone has a problem reading, but they can read raps.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, read raps.
Yeah,
like
bro.
It's gonna help you read. It's gonna help you with your, language, how fluent you may be.
Hip hop is just a medium, bro. Hip hop is just a language. That's all it is. It ain't, you know what I mean? I feel like the world is hip hop. It should be. Whatever occupation we doing, we should use hip hop to convey the message. It's like, it's the language, you know what I mean? You can use hip hop in so many different ways, and that's what is part of that song is, man. Me coming to terms with that. Yeah. Yeah.
This song, like I said, I think I started smiling. I was like, wow, this is like there was true thought into this album, man.
Yeah, man.
And then To Be or Not to Be, which I thought was a great ending. You said you're done chasing dreams. The dreams are chasing you.
Yep.
And at one part you said like the stage is in my hand. I think that talks a lot about perspective and how you see it. You feel like, you acting for all these people, whatever. You got to go other places to be certain things when you could just be it and just do it now,
you, bro.
and then watch how things start to come to you.
Exactly.
Because I can speak to that. It's like, as soon as I started to podcast and I started to take it serious, people start to see it, and like once they see how much work you're putting in on your own without waiting on anybody else, then people want to come along. They saying, okay, I see you doing it. How can I help you? What can I bring to you?
Exactly.
And then it's like 2 parts to this song, because the first part was, I just like how toward the end the crowd got louder. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Because it's like the encore, like really the true ending to this play is Freedom Riders in the finale. That's the true ending to this play. To Be or Not to Be is like the curtain call. You know what I mean? It's like that curtain call scene, and it's like the encore, and everybody's like, oh, I love what you just did, you know. And that's why that hook is like, I love that hook. It's probably one of the best hooks I think I've ever wrote personally, because it's like, I see them clapping from the audience, they y'all love me, but if you peek behind the curtain, would you still trust me? You know what I mean? So it's like that. This whole album was just like a big peek behind the curtain, behind, you know, what I'm going through mentally and like on a day-to-day basis with this music stuff. So yeah, man. Yeah. And it's like, also, to be or not to be, like Shakespeare once again, you know, to live or not to live. That's basically what it's saying. Is it to live or not to live? What are you living for? Who are you living for? You know what I mean? So that's what that whole thing is, man. Are you living for this dream? Are you living for you? Are you performing for someone else? Are you performing for you? You know what I mean? What's your stage? You know what I mean? So
then I think this might have been while I was like going throughout the whole album, but I think I wrote it after I heard the whole thing. I got things of, for the whole album, for the World's a Stage, I got things of like confusion, ego, dreams.
Yeah.
It's like a story of redemption in a way as well, and then like confidence. Do you feel like those are some words that kind of helped to sum up
man.
the album?
Yeah, absolutely. Confusion is a good one, bro.
Yeah.
I love that one because it's definitely like a battle with myself, internal battle. Like, so
I think I got confusion from you know, Act 2. It's like with the world being a facade, it's like, what do you do? What should you do? What role should I play? Who should I be? And I think that's, you know, being in your 20s is kind of where you are. Like, bro, I do not know what I need to be doing.
All your 20s is confusion.
And like, I truly hear those themes coming through. And like I said, ego, it's hard for a lot of people to deal with as you trying to work towards your dreams, but then you kind of like, I'm not chasing those anymore. It's like, they're coming to me, or I'm gonna just be. So I'm like redeeming myself in that. Now I can walk in that confidence.
And you can walk off and like, you can walk, like, that's a part of this too. Like, you can walk in that confidence and turn your back to the crowd. You know what I mean? Like, cause that's basically like what happened at the end of the song, at the end of To Be or Not to Be. I don't know if you heard it, but at the end, you hear like a light shutting off. So it's like,
yeah.
And that's the end of everything. It's like, turn the lights off and like walk on your own stage. You know what I mean? And throughout the whole, you know, this is like little nuances and stuff that we did. Like throughout the whole album, if you listen, you can hear in between songs, you hear like this slight buzzing throughout the whole album.
Okay.
And basically all that is just we put in like a stage, that stage lights buzzing. So throughout the whole album, people, you may hear it and you may hear like, what the hell is that buzzing sound? But it's like throughout the whole album, we put like stage lights buzzing throughout. It's on the bottom of every song, and basically it's just representing like, you know, the whole album I'm performing, I'm on stage. But then once you hear that, cause you hear it cut on at the beginning of the overture, you hear like, that's when you hear the crowd, all that, and then it cuts off at the very end, and then it's just silence. And now it's like, you know, what's your next, what stage are you gonna walk on next? You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So.
See, I love hearing those little nuances because it shows me how much thought went into this.
Oh man.
Because like you said, you've kind of been writing this for like the last 4 years. And when I was thinking about that, I was thinking, I've seen you put a lot of stuff out. Yeah. Like recently. Recently this year. Yeah. So it's like, for me, like with this album, a lot of these songs, it's a reflection on the last 4 years, but a lot of these songs is about 2 years old. Okay. I started this process of writing this album 2 years ago. And it changed so many different times, and all the way up until, you know, 5 months ago, I was writing this album. Like, well, actually, probably like a month before I dropped it. The last song was Father's Day that I wrote. So like, it's a lot of these songs, man, came at different points in my lives, different, you know, between 2 years, but it's really a reflection on the last 4 years, because I've been doing this professionally for 4 years. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then I got just a few more questions. So recently you were talking about artistic postpartum. So I want you to touch on that a little bit, because I feel like if people are not more into like their artistic side, they might not really understand that.
Yeah.
So
bro, it's like when you work on something for so long, like I said, I've been working on this album for years. And it was only me. It was just for me and like, you know, people around me, close people around me that was helping out with the process, but it's really only for my ears at first. And it's like sacred in a sense. And I compared it to that, and no disrespect to all the mothers. You know what I mean? But it's just, I think of life in metaphors, you know what I mean? So that was like the metaphor for me. It was just like, once I released it and gave it out to the world, I felt like I lost control of it.
Yeah.
And now I'm up for like judgment and all these stories, these vulnerable stories. I'm up for judgment now. And it's just like this emptiness.
Yeah, you was holding it, and now.
Yeah, now it's like, it's here. It's like, I just did all this work. I did like 2 years left, 2 years of my life, and now it's just here. Yeah. It's like a weird, empty feeling, bro. So trust me, I even like utmost respect for mothers, bro, because they probably feel it even worse. Yeah. Because I know, like, I felt this like emptiness feeling, you know. And someone on TikTok told me this, what I'm feeling is called Etterrath. Etterrath. It's like ETTERATH. And they say it's like after it's like going through an arduous process, and whether it's like preparing for like a wedding and you going home after the wedding, or if you were preparing for like war and like the battle is finally over, you basically, once it's done, you lose what organized your life into a mission, in a sense. And now you feel empty. And so like creating this album was organizing my life. Like, it was a tough process, but it was organizing my life into a mission. Now I don't have it anymore. It's like, damn. You know what I mean? It's deep, bro.
I hear you.
Crazy.
Because like you work so hard for something, and then when it's over, you thinking, okay, now what?
Exactly.
That makes sense, because like whether you're an artist or like, let's maybe put it into another way. For people that are college students, you work so hard for that degree. Now you got it. Okay. Let's say you don't get the job that you wanted. Now what? It's like you work so hard, it's attained. Now you got it. Now what? It's
exactly.
Like, so
exactly.
I wanted to hear that perspective again, because it's like I think I can resonate with that as well. You work so hard to put something out and you love it, but then you put it out and now something that you love can potentially be also loved, but it could be hated, it could be not liked. Right. And now you like, I could have protected that if I just held it in. You know what I mean? Exactly. So I think that was a very interesting take when I heard that. Yeah. Because I was like, I don't think you might have felt weird when you said it, but I was thinking, no, that makes sense. Yeah. It makes complete sense. Bro.
It was like, man, I don't know why I feel like this, but it's like, it's just empty. And I think I touched on it subconsciously in the album, like, you know, songs like Next, like What's Next. You know what I mean? I kind of like foreshadowed my feelings of like dropping this album, like, oh, what's next? Even me coming back from Spain, I kind of had that feeling too. Like, I just did this amazing tour. Now I'm right back in my city. What's next? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's always like, it's a constant, you know, thing of like, what's next for us, you know, especially as creators. We always thinking like, all right, how can I do better? Exactly. You know what I mean? Man,
so what legacy do you want this album to leave?
Man, this album is for the youth. Like, point blank, period. Like, at the end of the day, it's a legacy that I want to leave for my kids and for the youth around me, you know. And we go through many stages of our lives, you know what I mean? Like, we infants, we grow up, we toddlers, we become teenagers, young adults. Then, like, in my adulthood, I feel like I already had 3 different lives. Like, you know what I mean? I went through, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, crazy. Like me as a college student, because I'm in my 20s, so I had 3 different lives in my 20s. Like, it's like college student. Then post-college.
Not knowing what to do.
Like,
then
what's
you
next?
Like, all right, I'm kind of now figuring it out.
You know what I mean? And then fatherhood. Exactly. You know what I mean? Now I'm like in my career.
I ain't seen that one yet.
You know what I mean? So like, I just really want the legacy I want to leave is like, as we go through different, you know, stages of our lives, just know that whatever you're doing is leaving a trail behind for the next person to step on the stage after you. You know what I mean? So for me, this whole album was like, that's why I put Freedom Riders at the end like that. That's why it's this finale, because at the end of the day, I want to set the stage up. I want to set up a better stage for the generation after me. That's the biggest thing. Right.
You ever heard of something called Sankofa?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I heard of, who did that, bro? Who was doing that?
I learned that when I was in college. And basically it means, it's in Swahili, it means like go back and fetch it, right? But the way I've always thought about it is reach back as you climb. So as you continue to basically try and set the stage for others to have a, better results after you, that's kind of what you're doing. It's like, all right, this is what I did. I can bring you with me so you can learn what I did, and then, have a better trajectory forward from there. So this kind of touches on that to me.
Yeah, that's dope.
So yeah, man.
That's dope.
I really enjoyed this album.
Thank you.
I was like, there was really some thought into this, the sequencing. Cause once I saw that you had accent, and I said, okay, let me make sure these actually fit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like that way, when I question you about it, it's like,
exactly.
This fits. This makes sense. And I definitely wanted to make sure I asked you about that, like the part where you would consider like what was the climax. I'm glad I got that right. That was like
you on point.
That was like me nerding out.
Yeah,
like,
you on point for sure.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed this album, man. And
Thank you.
I want to say I'm proud of you again. This was I think this is, like you said, it's for the youth, and I felt a lot of this resonated with me because I'm thinking a lot of this kind of touches on where feel like I maybe in life. You don't want to give up on your dreams, but you like, what's next if I don't know what to do?
Exactly.
Struggling with ego, confused. Like I want it all.
So much,
I gotta get it for me, but I want to do it for you. I have to do it for me.
Exactly.
So there goes the ego. But I have to chase my dreams, but like not lose myself in that.
Exactly.
And still be a confident person in what I'm doing.
Exactly.
That's a lot.
I feel like it's an album, man, that's like, I feel like nobody in my position has touched on this in the sense of like the come up of while I'm in the come up, like, people make it and then they talk about it. But I feel like it was important for me to, especially as an up and coming artist, to talk about what it is like, what it really feels like to be an up and coming artist. You know what I mean? And the things that we go through and mentally as we pursue these things. So it's really for that, man. It's for creatives, it's for the youth, it's for anyone pursuing any type of thing that they want more out of. You know what I mean? So yeah. All
right, man. This we really got into a lot.
Man, this
for
was
this,
dope,
man.
Bro,
yeah,
sure.
Man. So as we continue to wrap up this episode, I was just wondering if there were any last few things that you wanted to maybe say to the audience of the highlight reel regarding yourself, regarding this album, anything.
Man, look, the world is your stage. That's it, man. Like whatever you're doing, just find joy in doing it. You know what I mean? Find joy in the beauty of it, and don't get lost in trying to be something that you're not, or trying to play a role for somebody else. Be you and love the art of doing it. And that's really what it is for me. And I'm saying that to myself, man, and bump the album. You know what I'm saying? Share it with somebody. You know what I mean? Like share it with people that you think may need it. And that's how we gonna keep it running.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm proud of you, bro. For real. Like,
thank you, bro.
Thank you, bro. Like, I'm glad we got to do this.
Hey, man, it's been great.
Enjoy this, and I enjoyed this album. And I want to say thank you to the viewer of this episode. Thank you to the listener of this episode. I hope that you were able to take something away from it. Please go bump this album, The World's a Stage, from Khari. This is a great album. I truly enjoyed it, and I hope that you do the same.
Right up.
But that has been your episode of The Highlight Reel. I hope you have a good one. Peace out.